Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and we are going to try to look at the stats from everything I read in the first quarter of this year. First, we should start out with the books that I have read each month. Now, this looks like it's going down like that. I read 33 in January, 29 in February, and 27 in March. That is just pretty basic, and it says including DNFs, but I actually didn't put any of my DNFs in the call pile, so there's no DNFs. Pages read per month. You can see that this looks a little bit different, even though it's books, and so that brings up another thing, because the next one that I want to look at, we'll look at it along with pages, is hours listened. And you can tell in March there was a lot more audio hours listened. What I have been doing is I've been putting the page numbers for the audiobooks, and I think I need to go back and take all of those out, because while the hours listened is accurate, the pages read is total, like for audiobooks and regular books. And it never occurred to me that I wouldn't do that until I started doing the April stats. Every day in April, I was keeping up with the pages that I read and the hours that I listened to, and I wasn't using audiobook hours for the total pages. So then I started thinking, oh wait, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing that on my call pile either. So I think going forward from now on, I will change that, and it won't have both things included in the pages read, so that number will probably look different in the next one. Okay, so then we have the genres that I have read from. So predominantly it is fantasy, 34% is fantasy, and then the next is 20% mystery, but then there's 18% horror, which I love. And then I've got some nonfiction, contemporary, sci-fi, romance, all kinds of stuff in there. I love looking at these charts because I love how colorful and everything they are. So the next one is the age category of the books that I read. So you can see 75% of what I read is adult, and that is on purpose. Like I find myself not liking young adult books very often. They have to just be like the right kind, are written really well. And I do like middle grade, so I don't know why that number is so low. I kind of wish that it was higher, and maybe I'll work on that some. The next one is the length of the books. So it looks like predominantly they're between 350 to 400 pages, but I don't know why this chart looks like this either. Like, this is not in a row. It doesn't start with under 100 pages and go all the way up to 1,000 and more. So I don't know what I need to do to fix this chart. I literally just used my call pile, which this is what it did. So anyway, the second most are 400 to 450 pages. And I would say that that's probably right. Like, the top three is anywhere between 300 and 450 pages. Then we have the How I Got It. And I really like this because it shows like most of my books come from the library, which is almost always the Libby app. There are some physical books that I get from the library, but most of them are from the Libby app. So I'm excited with the way I'm going to be doing my new TBR, and hopefully more books will come from the physical library and not just Libby, but I like it. I still do 24% from Scribd. So my top two are the library and Scribd, which I really like. And then I've got Audible. So what's funny is the top three places that I get books are all audio. Well, not the library exclusively, but almost all audio. All right, then we have publication year, and I love how spread out this is. I mean, the most that I've read from is 2021, which I guess is good because that means they're relatively new books from just last year. And then the next highest is 2020, so that's good. But all of those colors around there are different years for different books. And so it's been really nice to just get books from all different years. And that's not something that I try to do. I really don't look to even see when a book came out until I'm getting ready to put it in my call pile. And then I'm like, oh, that's when it came out. So it's not usually something that I check beforehand. And then my reading method, we all knew this was coming, 69%. But what's weird to me is that the physical and the ebooks are so close together. So 15 and 14%. So I think that might be going up a little bit in the future, but not much. It's still predominantly going to be audiobook. The next one is series or standalones. And this, I expected this to some extent because there are a lot of series that I read like ongoing, but I didn't really expect it. I expected it to be closer to 50-50 and not 64 and 36. That is a big gap in between the standalones that I read and the series that I read. Then we have star ratings. I decided not to worry with the half star one in there just because then we have a lot more data. So I like this one that just has 3, 4, and 5 stars. And if you notice, I don't give a book below 3 stars. And that's just because if I'm really not liking a book that much, I'll just DNF it. So if I finish a book, it's at least going to be 3 stars. And so that's what we have. 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. You can see that 4 stars are the one that I give the most. But there's a lot of 5 stars. 22 books this year so far in the first 3 months that have been 5-star books. Then we have written by a man, a woman, or multiple authors. So there's been 3 books that I've read by multiple authors, and then the rest have been either a single man or a single woman. I am happy that 60% of the books have been, almost 60%, have been by female writers. I like it. That's also not something that I pay attention to. Like, if it is a male or female, like, I don't go and make sure it's all balanced out. I just read the next book, and naturally it kind of balances out. So then we have new or returning authors. And I like that this is so close to 50-50. I wanted it to be about 50-50 so that I'm still reading new authors constantly the same time I'm reading my old authors that I know that I like. So I like where it is. I wish it were a little bit closer to 50-50, but my favorite stat, my favorite chart, period. And I know it's because of how colorful it is, but this is my favorite chart. And this is the number of books per author. I love it. Like, I mean, I knew that J.D. Robb and Stephen Graham Jones would be big because I do read a lot of books by them, and Tamara Pierce is right up there. But the ones that are like, I mean, I just love the colors in this. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. And I do think it's funny that Brandon Sanderson has 2, and then Brandy Sanderson and Jancy Patterson have 2, because those are the novellas that went with the Cytonic series or Skyward series. So anyway, that is it. That's what I have, and I am stopping on my favorite chart because of all the colors. I know that's why it's my favorite. I hope that you liked this quick little look at what I've been doing the first 3 months of the year and kind of how it looks. I'm going to be tweaking a few things, like I said, for quarter 2, and I'll be back to share those with you in my new place. By the time Q2 happens, I'll be living in a new house in a new state in the US. So I am gonna go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.